It's been a long time, Mom. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks. How about you? Have you started getting used to living at your new place? It must be so lonely being forced to live and work so far from home, isn't it?
Frankly, work has been so busy that I haven't even had the time to feel lonely. It does start feeling that way when I'm talking with my family, though. It really shoves in my face the fact that I'm really alone here.
Yeah, I can see how it would feel that way. Christina and the others must also be feeling how lonely it is, aren't they? I wonder how it felt for them to not have a man living in the house with them anymore. I can imagine it might have been hard to get used to at the start.
Well, I can't say I like work posting me this far from home either. But it's my job, and I have to get paid. So, there's nothing I can do about it.
In this day and age, sometimes you just have to be grateful that you have a job at all, right?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, there's also something I have to let you know about. Emily had to be sent to the hospital.
Oh, has Emmy not been doing well? Is she going to need some sort of operation again?
No, this time she's just there for observation, and she might get some medication while she's there.
Even so, that worries me. Is she going to be okay?
Well, to tell the truth, her condition has been poor since last month or so. Since she entered elementary school, this is the first time her health has worsened to this extent.
Maybe it could be because of the change of environment. Maybe all of this has made her so tired that it made her sick?
Well, compared to kindergarten, a day at elementary school lasts a lot longer, too. You also can't forget getting used to being on a crowded bus surrounded by other kids. Emily has had to deal with all sorts of new things. I'm not surprised at all that she would be tired out.
Yeah, poor Emmy has had a weak constitution ever since she was born, after all. She really is just like your grandpa, isn't she?
Yeah, I do remember you telling me about how Grandpa was so frail.
Yeah, but as he grew up, he really got a lot healthier. He even managed to make it through the food shortage during the war without a hitch. So I think Emmy is going to be just fine.
It would really be good if that ends up being the case, yeah. It seems like Emily is really irritated about how she can't keep up with all the energy of her friends. Not only that, but since she didn't get to go on a field trip today thanks to having to go to the hospital, she's been really bitter about it all.
Well, it must bring you more peace of mind that she's at the hospital rather than if she was at home, right? I feel like any parent with a child as frail as Emmy would feel safe with their child under observation in the hospital, wouldn't they?
Yeah, if anything were to happen, she would be able to get treated immediately. Being in an environment where you have doctors and nurses looking after you 24/7 definitely has its advantages. It certainly would be much harder to deal with any issues at home.
But it is a lot harder on Christina, isn't it? She has to go to the hospital every day, doesn't she? I know how reliable she is, but I really hope she's not overworking herself.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel terrible that she has to deal with all of this alone. It hurts that I can't do anything to help thanks to being so far away from home. It's one of the things I really hate about this work arrangement.
I totally understand. But this posting was unavoidable, wasn't it? Practically speaking, working while being posted as far away as you are is still better than having no work at all, right?
Sometimes I really wonder if that's true. Sometimes I think about whether or not it would be better for our family to move here. That way, we would all live together instead of just me living alone.
But moving would be a huge change, and that would put an even bigger burden on Emmy, wouldn't it? Especially since she seems like she's finally starting to get used to her new school. It would be so sad to make her move to a new school after all that she's gone through, not to mention how hard on her it would be.
Well, once she finishes first grade, there would be a lot of vacation time. But yeah, I think you're right. Emily's been going to the same hospital ever since she was a baby, so I don't think changing hospitals is a good idea either.
Oh yes, that's right. If the rest of the family moved, the hospital change would also be a problem, wouldn't it? It would have been nice if your job wasn't one that sent you across the country. But they do pay you a pretty high salary, don't they?
Yeah, that's why I can't possibly quit this job. I really want to earn money. Not just for what we need now, but for Emily's future too. On top of that, all of these hospital visits and treatments have really been detrimental to our bank account.
That's not surprising, given how sickly Emmy is. I can imagine that making money is probably your top priority. If you run into trouble, make sure to let me know, okay? Since I'm still working, I can help you out if you need it.
Please, don't worry about it. You should just focus on saving money for your retirement.
Are you sure? I would be more than happy to help if you needed something. Maybe I could give Christina some assistance or something. I could give her a break.
Aren't you busy too, Mom? Don't go overworking yourself either. I was told that Emily would be out of the hospital in 2 to 3 weeks anyway. Once she gets better, go visit her and Christina.
Sure, I will. Be sure to let me know when she gets out of the hospital. Emily has been discharged from the hospital with no remaining issues. I am tired after carrying all of this luggage. But hey, this marks the end of the daily trips to the hospital.
Thank you so much for doing all of that. Both you and Emily have really been through a lot, haven't you? These past 3 weeks must have been so stressful. How is Emily now? Is she feeling okay?
She is not doing so well right now thanks to car sickness, but up until just a little while ago, she seemed pretty chipper. Her appetite's returned too, so I think she's doing fine now.
That's a relief to hear. Thank goodness. It's unfortunate that it took 3 weeks for her to get discharged from the hospital, even though they said there was a chance that she would be out in 2.
Well, she started running a high fever near the end of the 2nd week. If it weren't for that, she might have been able to get out of the hospital earlier, but it is what it is. It is a shame it didn't go as smoothly as it could have.
Well, regardless of how long it took to happen, I'm glad she is out of the hospital and healthy again. Mom was saying that she wanted to come visit when Emily got out of the hospital too. That said, she's also pretty busy, so she might not be able to come by anytime soon.
Well, your mom is always welcome to come visit us. Make sure to tell her that she can come anytime, okay? I'm sure Emily will be happy to see her too.
Sure, I'll be sure to let her know. Anyway, what are your thoughts on Emily's condition? Do you think she'll be able to go back to school soon?
I'm still not really sure, to be honest. I feel like she needs to recuperate at home for at least 2 weeks first. If we don't gradually get her acclimated to home life again, she might start running a fever again. If that happens and the fever doesn't break after a few days, she'll probably have to go back to the hospital.
So, it's still hard to say she's completely recovered after all. Well, I guess Emily probably finds it more comforting being at home compared to the hospital at least. Especially since she gets to always have her mom around.
It certainly is stressful for me, though. It might be different from having to go to the hospital every day, but being at home has its own set of difficulties too.
I suppose that's true, isn't it? At home you have to keep track of everything yourself. I'm really sorry, Christina.
Huh? What are you apologizing for?
I'm sorry for having to make you deal with all of this alone. If work didn't post me this far from home, you wouldn't have had to end up shouldering all the burden by yourself.
You don't need to apologize, Kyle. Don't worry about that stuff. I'll be okay. Just leave everything to me. It's not like it's your fault you got posted so far away, right?
No, you're right, but you still sometimes wish that I was there to help, don't you?
I mean, yeah, sometimes, but... with your work, you're helping us out in your own way, you know? You've always been calling every night, so I don't feel like you've been neglecting me or anything. I know how much you've been worrying about me after all.
You're so reliable, so I've really come to depend on you. I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, it's fine. Remember, I'm the type of person who's really good at helping people out. And for someone as cute as Emily, something like nursing her back to health is no trouble at all. I'm just glad to finally be together with her again.
I swear, if someone were to look up perfect mother, they would find a picture of you. I am so honored to have you as my wife.
Aw, thanks. I know that for you, being stuck working so far from home is really hard, but it does come with a great salary, right? I am so grateful for that. It takes a lot of money to take care of Emily. Don't forget, being posted so far away may be lonely, but there are benefits to it too.
I suppose that's true, yes. It's always good to look for that silver lining, right?
Exactly. It's not all bad. So don't worry about us and just do your best at work, Kyle. Even if talks of another transfer come up, don't go thinking about rejecting it, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Christina. Well, I'll do as you say and focus on my work. I'll call you again tonight.
You don't have to call me every night, you know. You really do get lonely easily, don't you?
What do you mean? Emily gets more lonely than I do, doesn't she?
She's actually quite mature for her age, you know. The whole time she was in the hospital, she didn't say a thing about being lonely. In fact, she didn't complain about anything. She really did her best to stay positive.
I guess I really do nothing but complain, don't I? It sounds like Emily's more of an adult than I am. I guess I really need to grow up a bit.
Emily's frail body getting healthier, or you starting to overcome your loneliness? This sounds like a race of who will improve first. Kyle, are you there? What is going on? What's happening here?
Mom, what is it? What happened?
I'm at your house right now.
Oh, you are? Has something happened?
I was in the area due to work, so I thought I would stop by to check in. Emmy is here, but it looks like she's come down with a high fever.
What? How high of a fever are we talking?
Her temperature's over 104. Why is she so listless? Where is Christina?
What? Isn't my wife there with you? She's always by Emily's side. She's not anywhere in the house.
No, she's not. On the contrary, Emmy told me she's been home alone since this morning.
Christina's been gone since this morning. But I called her this morning before I went to work. She didn't say anything about going out today.
Well, I really can't find her anywhere. I checked the garden and the garage too, and I just can't find her.
You can't be serious. Where could she have gone? Is her phone there somewhere?
I see a tablet, but I don't see her phone anywhere.
A tablet?
Yes, one of those tablet computers. Actually, its screen just started blinking right now. Look, I'm worried about Emmy's condition, so I'm going to take her to the hospital, okay? Is there a health insurance card I should take with me?
It should be in the drawer of the TV stand. I'm sorry about this. Please take care of Emily.
Don't worry. I'll do whatever I can for her. In the meantime, you need to try to contact Christina. If she's been gone since this morning, then it's possible something might have happened to her.
Good idea. I'll call her immediately. You mentioned seeing a tablet, right? Just in case, could you please take that with you? It might help us figure out where she is.
You called me, right? I'm sorry I missed it. I was doing some stuff in the garden, so I didn't hear my phone ring. The weather's been pretty great today, so I've been hanging Emily's laundry out to dry.
Have you been at home the whole time?
Yeah. Of course I've been home.
How about Emily?
She's here with me, of course. She still can't go back to school yet, after all.
I see. Is Emily doing okay?
Yeah, she's doing just fine. She had no trouble eating lunch earlier this afternoon, and right now she's on the couch playing games.
Christina, have you actually been at home the whole time? Is that really true?
Why would you ask something like that? Of course it's true.
Well, the thing is, Mom stopped by the house pretty recently.
Huh? Is that so? I totally didn't notice her stop by.
From what she told me, it sounds like Emily was the only one there, though. She was suffering from a serious fever, so Mom said she was going to take Emily to the hospital.
What? What are you talking about?
Funny. That's exactly what I would like to ask you. Mom said she couldn't find you at home. And yet right now, you're telling me that Emily is playing games. That's not really the case, is it? It can be, because Emily's currently at the hospital.
Did your mom really come to our house?
She told me she was in the area due to work, so she figured she would stop by and check up on things. When she rang the doorbell, Emily was the one who answered, and it sounds like she asked Mom for help. She was apparently lightheaded and dizzy from the fever.
What the hell? This is totally absurd. I didn't want anyone coming to our house without contacting me first.
What are you talking about? You're the one who told me she was free to come at any time, remember? And what would have happened if she really had contacted you first anyway? You would have told her she couldn't visit today because you didn't want your outings to be exposed, wouldn't you? If you had done that, Emily would have ended up being left alone at home in a perilous condition.
What do you mean, perilous? They're exaggerating. She just came down with a little fever, didn't she? That sort of thing happens to that girl all the time.
How can you even say something like that? Emily is suffering from dehydration. The doctor got angry at Mom, asking her why she didn't bring Emily in earlier.
I had a small errand I had to run, so I just left for a little while. I was planning to come right back home.
That's a lie. You went to a concert. One for that band you really like, right?
Huh? How do you know that?
While looking for a health insurance card, Mom found your tablet. The screen had happened to start blinking because you had just received a notification about a new comment on your Facebook post. You've been keeping a secret Facebook account, haven't you?
My tablet? A secret Facebook account? You mean, she saw it?
I couldn't get in contact with you, so I had Mom look at what was on that tablet for me. I thought we might find some information to help locate you on it. And that's how she managed to find it, written on your Facebook page. The post saying you would be at a concert all day.
Why did she look at it? How could she? Does she have no respect for people's privacy? Your mother is so thoughtless.
The only one who's thoughtless here is you. I completely misunderstood you. I was under the impression that you were an amazing mother devoted to helping her daughter.
You didn't misunderstand anything. That impression is exactly right. Today I just happened to go out for a while. That's all. I didn't mean to cause any trouble or anything.
Why are you still spewing those lies? You have been constantly going out for fun this entire time.
Shut up! Just shut up! Don't go making people out to be freeloaders who just do as they like.
Except that's exactly what's going on here, isn't it? This is far from the only day you've left Emily at home alone. I know what's going on.
No, you're wrong. Today is just a special case.
From what Emily tells me, you lied to her, saying that you were going to go looking for a hospital that would cure her illness. You then told her to not tell anyone so it would be a surprise. Going so far as to lie to your daughter and keep her quiet. You really are a devious person.
Well, I can't help but do that, can I? Do you realize that ever since she was born, I have had no freedom at all? It must be so great to get to live so far away from home, isn't it? You aren't tied down by your kid like I am.
So you're saying that you going out for fun all the time is my fault because my job has me posted halfway across the country? I get it. To you, my getting transferred over here must have been the perfect chance, wasn't it? The perfect chance for you to live in luxury without having to worry about responsibilities or the prying eyes of anyone else.
What kind of monster do you think I am? I am not such a cruel person.
I've seen your entire secret Facebook account, you know. You were so happy that I wasn't around anymore, weren't you? You went to whatever concerts and shows you wanted, and bought whatever stuff you wanted as well, right?
That's just my way of dealing with stress. You have no idea how much stress piles up when you're raising a child and dealing with housework all alone.
I understand how difficult it is to raise a child, especially alone. You had written so much about it on that Facebook account. You wrote all sorts of complaints about Emily and me.
So you saw that too, huh?
I don't have an issue with you complaining. Everyone complains sometimes. We're only human. And you really wrote some terrible things about Emily, huh? Things like how she was a defective product, wishing you had never given birth to her. You have written such horrible things that it makes me doubt you even have any humanity left in you. But that's all fine.
No, it's not. You're making me sound like I'm some demon or something.
I don't blame you for complaining. That in and of itself isn't something I'm judging you for. I understand that I'm not there, and I know that taking care of Emily takes a lot of work. I completely understand how the situation could be so hard to deal with that it would make you want to say such things. But to go out and have fun while leaving a sick child at home alone is something that is truly despicable. Instead of deciding to do all of this in secret, I would have preferred it so much more if you had simply talked with me about it first. I didn't want to be stabbed in the back like this.
I am so sorry, Kyle. I'll come home right away.
Incidentally, I'm on the way to the hospital myself. Now pay attention, because I'm only going to say this once. If you do not arrive at that hospital before I do, then I guarantee you that we will be getting a divorce. But if you come back quickly, you should have no trouble getting there in time. Right?
What? A divorce? You're kidding, right? Kyle, you were posted in Illinois, right? You must be on a plane right now, right?
Yes, that's right. You aren't further away than I am, right? That can't possibly be the case, can it?
If I left right now, I would get back late into the night.
Where the hell are you?
I'm in Miami.
Are you serious? You left our recovering child at home and went to Florida? You can't be serious. Are you insane? Were you planning to stay there overnight?
I thought it would be fine if I just stayed for one night. Look, it was a miracle that I got a ticket at all. If I let that opportunity slip by, I would never get another chance.
If that's the case, then that's all the more reason why you shouldn't have just stayed silent about it and left. Anyway, don't forget that if you're back later than I am, we're getting a divorce. Who will arrive at the hospital first? Will it be me or you?
Wait. Please wait. I'm telling you that there's no way I could possibly get back in time. This absurd race of yours is impossible for me to win.
So you're saying that even with a miracle, it's impossible? Well, if you let this opportunity slip by, you will never get another chance. In the end, Christina, stuck in Florida, didn't manage to make it back before I did. It wasn't even a contest. I got to the hospital far earlier than she did. Thankfully, Emily's condition had settled down, and I was relieved from the bottom of my heart to see her back in good health. My mother, who had been at the hospital the whole time, went to the county clerk's office to get official divorce papers while I stayed with Emily. There was still a lot of time before Christina would arrive, after all. After a few hours, Christina, face red and covered in sweat, came rushing into the hospital, but when she saw the divorce papers in my hands, her red face turned as white as the hospital's walls. Afterwards, once Emily managed to fully recover, I divorced Christina. I talked with my company and got them to transfer me to an office closer to my parents' house. I was making a pretty unreasonable request, but taking into account that I was now a single father, they acquiesced. We did end up having to move, but now I'm raising Emily with the help of my mother. Emily was anxious about the new environment, but thankfully there didn't end up being any problems, health or otherwise. She got used to our new place pretty quickly, and is now living happily. I'm surprised at how adaptable she is. She really is a trooper. I'm hoping that I can manage to raise her well from now on.